Chapter 5. Bears and the Boogeyman. Bears and the Boogeyman were up there as far as we were concerned, so we did not understand why they wanted us there. Scary. Near the end of that first summer, the new site was well under construction. They needed young people to watch the new site from the robbers and thieves. There are no robbers and thieves in this village, we thought. The construction people insisted on having 2-week shifts through the winter, and they would pay them. They came back with stories about their shift watch. I was too young to hear these scary tales. 2 buildings at the new site is where they set up camp for the winter. We were too young to go and see the construction site. We were not allowed where men were working and making money, adult stuff. The following spring, we seen the most peculiar sight of half-built houses on barges. One was red and another was blue. How could they build half houses, we thought. Hours they came back with stories of little people and something about a creek with a hole in the ground next to it. Boogeyman, they would say. I don't remember the day we moved to the new site, but one family at a time moved to a brand new modular house. Our family, and like many others, were now divided up between these new modular houses. My dad, brother Henry, and I moved into a 2-bedroom modular house on the lower side of the village. Grandma Heidi and the rest of them moved into a 2-bedroom just up the hill from us. Most had families out of Red River and moved. No canneries and no school had made people move to make money. Population of Red River had dropped dramatically. I never thought of what would happen to those abandoned houses after we moved into new digs. A lot had changed for us, and others were still the same. New place was wonderful. We still do not have running water or electricity yet. My dad worked odd jobs that came to Red River all seasonal work. One of the locals didn't move into the new village. He had a nice little cabin he was happy with. He had a sport fishing lodge and made a nice living. Every year he would leave to be with his wife down south. He said he liked the fishing and enjoyed going to the city for winter. I remember one visit I had stayed to listen about the city life. He talked my dad into starting fishing lodge for himself. My dad transformed the back outside entrance into a little bedroom with bunk beds and carpet. We had some clients that following summer and continued to grow in numbers for a maximum of 20 clients a week at peak season. Early in the spring, there's a red run of salmon. We would go and set the seine out at the point to catch 300 to 600 fish. You had to have several people together to pull the seine to the beach. First, you set out the net with the skiff and hold hook for about 10 minutes and start to slowly close the net. The beach seine crew on the beach needed to hold the seine in place and help close the set. Pull and grab until it was closed. The fun part is to pick the fish species that you wanted out and let the rest go. They would select the fish they wanted. One haul usually got enough salmon to preserve for the winter. With a full skiff, they would head to the beach just below the house so they wouldn't have far to pack the 5-gallon buckets to the smoking and drying area. The fish filleting would begin. My dad and uncles were so fast and proficient at this task. It only took a couple of hours. The seagulls would all be in the uproar singing, "Kadiak, Kadiak, we will eat what you discard." So noisy. They packed them in buckets to lay out next to the smokehouse to salt. After soaking in rock salt, they would rinse in salt water from the river. The young guys had to climb up the steepest stairway with buckets of salt water to rinse the fish to hang. Then they would hang the fish to start smoking for 2 weeks. My family has this process down, and it is so delicious. I remember when it was done, they would cut up several to sample for lunch. Throughout this day, we would see most of the villagers. Cold, hard smoked salmon is what my family would do every year. We'd also put salmon up to dry. You had to get the first run of reds to beat the black flies' arrival. Black flies would lay eggs in the soft meat. Hopefully you put your fish up before then. They could destroy the whole batch. Most times I had to go with my brother Henry, so he wasn't alone. The drying racks were across the creek and a little bit up a hill. Hike up the hill. When it rained, you had to turn every pair so the skin side was out to stop moisture. The drying racks held 300 pairs of salmon. It was a basic structure with tin for a roof, open sides with fish net draped over it to keep out animals. Dry fish is my favorite way to eat salmon. Yum.